Hi and welcome to Smoky Tech. My name is Stephen and welcome back. If it's your first time here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It would be appreciated very much. And today we're going to be taking a look at some retro handhelds. Some new tech that plays old tech. Love retro gaming. Brilliant on a handheld. Seems to be clogging the TV up and the wife getting angry with me. So what we're going to do is, first of all, we're going to try this one. This is a very cheap one. I'll explain everything later on after we've done some unboxings. But this is an R36S, probably a clone of a clone of a clone. But don't let that fool you. And secondly, further up the scale, we're going to be looking at the RG36S from Anbernic. Well, yet again, we'll get this unboxed, then we'll have a chat about it later. Hopefully I can show you some footage from each handheld, and you can make your own minds up, figure out what they can play and what they can't play. And finally, although this isn't a retro handheld, do leave a comment down in the comments area if the microphone is any good, because I'm testing this new wireless lavalier microphone, which was extremely cheap. I don't have much hope for it, but I'm going to try and do the whole video with this before I edit it. So this could be all wasted, or I might be able to save it. So we'll figure out what this is like. I'll also put a link in the description for this as well. So let's get on with the unboxing. So we shall start with the Game Master R36S. Apparently my biggest dream is to stay young forever. I'm not sure what that means, but obviously it's retro, so it harks back to your younger years. Lots of things on the back of there if anybody wants to read them. I will put a list of the specs on the screen, and well, let's just get this opened, because there's not much else on the box apart from a picture of it. So we'll pop this open. Nice little white box as usual. This open, and then we have our little user manual, which will tell you important things, I would imagine. And here is our console. I've already had this out of the box, but you do also get a charge cable with this. I did buy this with a preloaded SD card. As you can see, I haven't even took the screen. Give that a clean. I haven't even took the screen protector off yet. I think, did you get one in the box? Yes, there's a screen protector in the box. This is just for shipping. But there's a proper screen protector in the box, which I actually haven't used yet. But I have had a mess around with this system. One thing I would say is, although they do come with the SD card, which this one comes with a 256 gigabyte SD card, preloaded with ROMs. Especially, you're going to need that if you haven't got any ROMs or you're unable to get ROMs. It's easy enough to get ROMs. I'm not going to describe that in this video, but you can get them. But if you do buy that SD card, remember, it's not the best quality SD card, and they are prone to failing. So you're best off getting a nice branded one and transferring whatever's on that SD card over to your new SD card. So on the side, we have a power button. We have what looks like a reset button. We have a second game card. So this one will boot your system, and this one is your extra game card. So you can put more in if you want. We have a volume up and down on the side. We have a bit of a creased label there. Not sure why. I think I had planned to take that off and polish up so you could see the little bits on the back, because it's black, but it's like a see-through black. It's quite a nice case. We have our rear buttons, our R1, R2, L1, L2 on the back. And then we have the usual buttons on the front. This says select, this one says start, that one says FN, and we have our two little analog sticks. And on the bottom we have two USB-Cs and a headphone jack. This one obviously to charge the system. Speaking of charging the system, you're probably best off using the cable that was provided, or a low power cable. Not all cables work, and these are most of these are slow charging units. So if you put a 28 watt charger in it, you're probably going to damage the battery. I just say that now. Charge it with a low 5 volt 2 amp or 1.2 amp charger. I'll put the specs up for the charging on the screen, and yeah, let's switch this on. We'll wait while the system boots up, and it's booting into its operating system anytime now. Loading up all its things, and there we go. So first off, I would just like to say first off, this is a very well built little handheld. It feels good. A little plasticky around the buttons. The thumbsticks they work. They're very short, but it's a handheld, so they need not to catch your pockets when you put your pocket. But overall, it just feels well built. R2 and L2 and L1 and L2, very clicky buttons, but they're there. They're not staggered either, so that's a slight downfall. The rest of the buttons I feel absolutely fine. We have quite a lot on here, so we shall go. There we go. So I have 12,836 games on here. I do think that I reloaded this SD card. You may get more games when you order one, you may get less. Depends where you order it from and who is doing the card. So we've got Capcom, we've got Capcom 2, Capcom 3, MAME, we've got Atom's Wave, Naomi, Atari, PC Engine CD-ROM, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64 for Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Game & Watch, Nintendo DS, Mega Drive, Sega CD, Sega 32, Dreamcast, Game Gear, Neo Geo, Neo Geo Pocket, Wumbo, PlayStation, PSP, I'm not sure they'll run very well, MSX, Pico, ports, and back to options, and your RetroArch, which is running all of this software to start with. So what we should do is this, I'm just going to go through this for the new year. I'm not going to go into detail, so let's find something we know it can run. We definitely know we should be able to run. Mega Drive, let's have a look and see. We have Sonic the Hedgehog. I think we'll start with Sonic 1. We'll see how this plays. Yeah, works very well. I'll tell you what I am going to do. I'm going to take that volume down. There we go. Start Green Hill Zone 1. Hey. I would like to say the screen is very good on this for a small handheld. It's very clear, it's very crisp, it's very bright. I've never been at the brightness settings. This is out of the box, although yes, I know I have played with it before, but I haven't messed about with it too much. So just as well, I was invincible there. Or I may have found myself deed, or as everybody else. That's one, and that's probably enough. Sonic the Hedgehog, although now I'm into it, that's it. I'm lost for the rest of the day. Let's finish that level. Which, to be honest, I usually mess about, and that's probably the quickest I've ever done that level. But yeah, absolutely great. Nice screen. Let's figure out how to get out of the game. There we go. If you click Start and select at the same time, you come out of the game. So, Mega Drive seems to work quite well. Let's go back. Let's have a look, see if we can get a Dreamcast game to work. Let's just pick any Dreamcast game that I like, that I think it'll run, because I'm not sure it's going to run Dreamcast very well. So he is dead or alive. Bear in mind, it does have volume. I've just turned the volume off. And also, I would imagine that these are running in native resolution. It would benefit from upping the resolution times, but on such a small screen, I really don't think it matters too much. Let's just head straight into a battle. Because if this plays, I am quite impressed. So far, not much frame skipping. That's very slow. Yeah, so sort of right. It doesn't really want to play Dreamcast very well. PlayStation shouldn't be as hard to run as Dreamcast, so we'll find something that it possibly can play at a decent resolution. Soul Blade? We'll have a go. I used to like Soul Blade back in the day, and it seems to be running it just fine. We'll hit the start button and skip this. Arcade mode sounds fine by me. We will be that gentleman there. Hwang. Now, see, there's the difference. This runs absolutely fine. It is running at full speed. Can't see any frames open. And imagine this is probably not the easiest game to run. So, a little bit of footage, a little bit of gameplay, and like I said, this was. Are you waiting for it? This was. I can't even remember now. I think it was between £10 and £12. I did get this off Temu. Very surprised it actually turned up. And for what it is very well built. It feels great. The screen is really good. And it plays the selection of games I thought it would play up to PlayStation. I wouldn't include all PlayStation in that. If you're going to buy one of these, I'll say your expectations should be around Super Nintendo and Mega Drive. Maybe not much higher. I would go and try PSP, but I just know, in fact, let's try a PSP game. And I know exactly what I'm going to try because I know it's quite a hard game to run. We'll try Tekken Dark Resurrection. I like this game. If it plays this, I'll be impressed. But I can guarantee it won't play all PSP games. We'll probably find some more slowdown on this one like we did on Soul Calibur. We'll see how this runs. I have a feeling it won't run very well. But this will probably be the last game we'll play on this. Then we'll test the next one. It seems not too bad there. I've got a feeling we'll get some slowdown here. Oh, yep, straight away. However, I've played it worse. It's not bad apart from a few frame skips and a few stutters. I've played worse. See what else we can find on here. Virtual, I know it's all fighting games at the minute, but fighting games tend to take quite a bit to run. And I've been quite impressed so far. Arcade. The colours on the screen might not seem as bright or popping, but I can't really take. That's better. Yeah, so if we Virtual Fighter 3D, wow. Let's use Joey. And I won. But yeah, not bad at all. Plays all them. So yeah, anything up to possibly it will play some Dreamcast. It does play PlayStation and it'll play some PSP. But like I said, I would aim it no higher than the Sega 32X if you want really good emulation. So what we'll do is we'll move on to the 556 now. We'll unbox that and we'll see what that's like. And here we have the RG36S from Anbernic, a bigger system, a more expensive system. This, I think, was around about 160 to 170 pounds. I did get an SD card with it. I have since put a new SD card in it. So this is what you get with. Obviously, that's where I bought it from. Doesn't mean that's where you should buy it from. Took about a week or two to get here. Good service, to tell you the truth, good service. In fact, if I remember rightly, I did buy a RG40XX and that took about 3 weeks to get here. However, this one took about a week, if I remember rightly. So this is in the box. You obviously get the handheld, you get your instruction manual and a charger cable, well packaged yet again. And in this is the system. This is the RG556, and to tell you the truth, it is absolutely beautiful. This is blue, or it's like a purpley blue, but like you say, you can see straight through it. You can see all the electronics underneath, all the boards, the buttons, capacitors. You can see the cooling system, and it just looks absolutely amazing. So around this we'll have some quality buttons, feel really good. Analog sticks feel really good. All the buttons feel excellent on this. On the top we have some ventilation. We also have our volume up and down and our power. There we have our RT, LT, RB and LB buttons. And then on the bottom we have our charge port. Yet again, slow charge. I think it's at the most 2 amps. Anything over that you could damage your battery. We have a headphone socket, and we also have our SD card slot, which I have put in there, which is our Samsung 512 gig, because I have a lot more games on here that are bigger. So what can this thing do? Also, the beauty of this thing is you're going to see this running games firsthand, because I'll cut to the recorded footage of the actual unit, because it actually screen records, so it will look a lot better quality than the RG36S, but it's going to anyway. So, well, first of all, we'll switch this on. Hopefully there's some battery in it. There we go. We'll just let this boot up. While it's booting up, the beauty of this thing is it is Android, so you can go to the Play Store and download games and play games straight using this straight from the Play Store. You don't have to use it as a pure emulation. It can actually be used as a good quality Android device. So we'll dupe them off and we'll... Right, so obviously this is the front screen. You can see that I've been using it before. I put my own wallpaper on, simple enough, same as any phone or Android system, easy enough to put your own wallpaper on. Best thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to go and hit screen record. I'm not going to record audio, and I'm not going to record the screen touches, because you'll probably just see my voice over the top of it anyway. So it will, from here, we will go to full screen record. So we screen record now, as you can see, up there in the top corner. It's just buzzed to let me know we are. So there we go. We have Chrome, files, photos, all your usual Android stuff, all your emulators. People do say uninstall the emulators, reinstall the emulators. That's not for me. I'm happy with the emulators out there. They all seem to work and do the job. The only thing I have installed is this. I'm not going to pronounce it because I can't pronounce it. But in the top corner, I'll click on it just quick, and this is a different front end to the Anbernic front end. What this allows you to do, it actually allows you to, so if we go into, we'll scoot across the bottom here, we'll go to Saturn. So I'll click on Saturn. I've got 30 games. Sorry, I've got 24 items in there. So we go into the library, we'll click on that, and there you go. You'll see we have box art. And if you haven't got any box art, this will download and find the box art for you, which is great. And it does run quite well. Can't thing yet, but it does run really well. Apart from, I think it was PSP where it didn't quite run the way I wanted it to. So what I use is this button here, which is the R button. Class, I think this is a retro arch button. I think that's what they call it. So we hit that retro arch button in the bottom left corner, and there we go. That's it. Front end. Anbernic's front end. We have Wii. We also have Nintendo DS, and like I said, this is all nicely laid out. You can change the themes. There's themes where you can change. I'm not going to go into that, but you can change themes. Or touchscreen, so we can go all the way back. And the beauty about this is you can install the games you want to play, not the games that they come with. Thousands. Why have thousands of games on when you only want to play a couple? Saying that, I do have thousands of games on here. So we start with Nintendo Entertainment System, Sega Master System, PC Engine, Capcom, Mega Drive, Game Boy, Neo Geo, Super Nintendo, Capcom, PlayStation, Sega Saturn, Nintendo 64, and so on and so on. Dreamcast. What we'll do is if we go into Dreamcast, and we can pop down the Dreamcast thing. What did we play before on Dreamcast? I cannot remember. It might not be on here, but I think there's a lot more. I've got a lot more Dreamcast games on this. Soul Calibur, I think it was that. So if you play Soul Calibur on here compared to when we played it on the other system, you're going to see it's going to run a lot better. I have my frames up in the top corner. You want to be hitting around about 60 frames per second. Anything lower than that, you'll probably find that it'll frame skip. And the beauty of this machine, because it's a lot more powerful, is you can run these games at times and up the resolution, which is great. So we'll have a quick match. Let's start a quick match. Straight in, we're going to be playing.
Only the strongest will be chosen.
So if we see that go red, that means our frames have dropped, but very much doubt it will. We'll just skip that and we'll just go into a bit of play. I did also see it. I wasn't very good at this. Good thing is you can't see my button presses. But there we go. Cured it. And that's the good thing about that. It runs absolutely perfect. Probably on 2 or 3 resolution. Just showing you the difference. And this is why things cost a lot more money. So let's go into Wii. See what we've got in here. As you can see, not all art is in for this, but that can't be helped, unfortunately, because there's no way of doing it with this. Bit of burnout. We'll fly through this. You can see my FPS is down. I did drop our frames there a bit. Let's not go backwards. Analog sticks works very nice. That's playing quite well, actually. That's I'm very surprised. I thought it would get a bit. The frames could be better. Maybe I could drop the resolution, change a few bits and pieces. But yeah, it's running very well. But failed that lesson, like I said, I'm not very good. We'll go to this, because this separates my Wii games from my GameCube games. Actually, let's try a PS2. See if the PS2 loads from here. Tekken Tag, might as well. Where is he at? There he is. Marshall Law. See how well this runs. So this is running slow, and then so we're going to hit this button here, then go to settings. I'm going to click on settings and click on graphics. I want to see what we're looking at. We're using Vulkan and 2 times, so we're going to go to 1.5 times and see if that helps. Still running a bit slow, so we'll try again. I'll go in there again. There will be a lot of other things that we can change. However, I'm not 100% on that, so and it's still running a bit slow, but not everything's going to run perfect. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll go to the PSP and I'll show you the difference. So PSP will play Tekken, I don't know what it was now. Was it Tekken Dark Resurrection? There we go. So usually a lot of people would use God of War in comparison from old to new systems, but the other one will not play God of War. It will skip and frame skip and just unplayable. What we'll do here is we'll hit that and we'll go in our settings. We'll go into our render resolution, as you can see I've got it on ×3. So let's see how this plays on ×3, where the other one we had to have a ×4. We're still in our 60 frames, still in the green. That's a good thing. Keeping the green. Let's skip these scenes, skip this, and there we go, full speed, no problem, which sort of makes it worth it. It just looks so much better at 3 times resolution, although the screen is bigger, and for the money you would expect it to be better. So there you go. The difference between the 2 systems is quite a massive gap, but so is the price. If you're after something that you just want to tottle about with and you know, stick in your pocket for the train or the bus, or even if you share car journeys, the R36 is perfect. If you're after something a bit more that can give you a bit more, like I say, like PS2, PSP, PlayStation, Dreamcast, then this is the item for you. If you want to go bigger than that, the newer 557 is even more powerful than this. Where we had slowdown on that PS2 game, you wouldn't have that on that system. So there we go. We'll end this here, and I'll talk to you and let you know my opinions on both systems. So there we go. The R36S clone for around about, I paid around about £12 for this. Anywhere between £10 and £12 for this. That was delivered, but it was with a few other bits and pieces. You can't fault it for its money. Even if it lasted 2 months for £10, it's absolutely fantastic little bit of kit for what it is. With, you know, it's got a great screen. The buttons are a little bit plasticky, and you know, the buttons feel a little bit like a toy. It's very clicky, but it's got a good screen. It does do what it's supposed to, and you can pay a lot more money for these, because these usually go for around about £30–40, things like this. But why? When you can get a clone that does exactly the same thing for £12. This, however, this is in a different league. The ergonomics are absolutely brilliant. It feels great to hold. The buttons feel great. And since the update, the analog sticks are a lot better. It runs everything I would expect it to run. It does have a few problems with some PS2 titles. However, anything below that, if that's what you're willing to play, anything below that, especially for Dreamcast, N64, Sega Saturn, stuff like that, PSP, it plays absolutely fantastic and at higher resolutions. PS2, most of it is standard native resolution and it won't play every game that the PS2 has. But with that in mind, I still think it's excellent value for money. The next step is the 557, which is, if you stay with Anbernic, the next step is the 557, which is over £200. So you have to weigh up whether you're willing to spend that much money. Then you start getting into the territory of the big boys, which is another video altogether. So yeah, if you're looking to spend around about 150 or 170 pounds, see if you can dig one of these out. That included the SD card. I got mine from What Geek. They were absolutely fantastic, and this has been flawless. I am pretty sure with that, even though What Geek UK, it says UK, they're still dropping shipping from China, which most of them are. This came from China. Everything these days comes from China. However, as a comparison, really you can't compare them. But when it comes to price, changes the game. It changes the game, especially depending on what games you want to play. Hopefully that was a bit of help to you. I've been Nice Monkey Tech. My name's Stephen. Hopefully I'll see you again very, very soon in another video. Bye for now.